Hi everyone, Narelle here, and welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm back for another FlossTube, and it's been 2 weeks since I've done the last one, so I've got a little bit of stitching to show you. Now this is going to be quite a short video, I think. I stitched on something different most nights, but it's not going to be like a video that's got haul in it or plans in it or anything like that. So it's just purely going to be the stitching that I've done in the last few weeks. So alright, let's get started. So the first thing I worked on was Cooktown Orchids. Now this is for a group on Facebook called Cross Stitch 24/7, and it is a group where you, I need to stop saying it's a group where you cross stitch for 25 minutes or 25 stitches a night or a day. So it's a piece that you stitch on every day and spend either 25 minutes or do 25 stitches depending on the time that you've got allocated. So this is the one, this is the cross stitch that I'm using in that group. It's called Cooktown Orchid, and if you didn't watch my previous video, this is one that I made a massive mistake on, and I'm still trying to work around it. So yeah, not happy with it, but I'm going to persevere with it. So I also haven't done every night. So I think I did, for the first week after the last FlossTube, I think I did 3 or 4 nights in a row, and then I worked on other stuff. So this is where it is right now. If I remember in my editing, I will pop in a photo of where it was the last time I shared it, but that's where it is right now. And I've had to fudge a bit. Where is it? Hang on a minute, that's upside down. It's upside down. Let's try that again. So this leaf around here, I said in the last video, I have got to fudge that because these are way too close and there's bits missing, and I stuffed up somewhere, I don't know, when not long into it actually. So I've had to fudge for a bit, but I'm going to carry on and finish it. So we'll see how it goes. And I've got, I think, a few more. So that's the top of the design. And I think if I look at this, I have a few more to go over here. So that is that one, I believe. So I've got that one started there. So I don't even know if I'm showing you. Wait, here we go. Alright, so this leaf here is the one that I've had to dodgy here. I can't fit the whole thing in. But anyway, so that's where I am. Cooktown Orchid. I think I worked on that for 3 or 4 nights. Let me have a look. I did actually write it down. Now I don't keep track of stitches. I don't count stitches. I don't really notice the time. I just know that if I'm going to stitch of a night, and I only stitch of a night, then it's, well, rephrase that. I normally only stitch of a night, unless it's the weekend. And I just write down what I worked on that night. And normally I stitch from maybe 7 till 1 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning, something stupid like that, because you know I just can't go to bed can't get to bed at a decent time. Don't know why. But I worked on Cooktown Orchids for 1, 2, 3, 4 nights in a row. So I did get a bit done. Next one I worked on was Crinoline Lady, and this is for a whip go call, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Alright, so let me just find the pattern. And again, if I remember to edit the video rather than just pop it straight up, I will pop in where I was last time. But now I've got to find the photo. Oh my Lord. One of these days doing these, I'm going to get a little bit more organized. We live in hope. Okay, there we go. So this is the picture, Crinoline Lady. She's out of a magazine. So I just love that. it's really old worldy florals. I love the florals. And this is where I am now. She's going to be quite big because I'm doing it on a 25 count Lagana. I think that's what it's called. But I can't do 1/1. I'm doing over 2, so she's going to be quite big. But that is where I am. So I've done quite a bit of her extended skirt down here. So I'll pop in a photo of where I was when I did the last video. And I've changed the colours on it. I didn't have a lot of the colours in the chart, stitching from Stash. So some of them, from a distance, they blend okay. So this really light colour in here, there's like 4 colours in there from the lightest through to the darkest. And like I said, I didn't have them all. So the one I've got in the really lightest shade, when you look at it up close, it's a real apricot colour, and it doesn't actually blend that great with the others. It stands out quite a bit, but from a distance you don't notice it. So with it hanging on the wall, you won't notice it. Well, that's what I'm sticking to anyway. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So that was Crinoline Lady. Okay. And then next I worked on my own design. So I've designed a few cross stitches and I've got them in my shop, but I haven't stitched them. Yeah, there's not enough hours in the day, really. So I am going to work through and stitch them all. But this is the first one that I'm going to stitch. It's called Birdhouse Blues. It's not a full coverage in that the background is not stitched, but the design is full coverage, I guess. So this is Birdhouse Blues. So that white obviously is not stitched, but the birdhouse and the bird is stitched. It's quite a big piece. So, you know, some people are not into that sort of thing. Some people are. So I have started it, and this is what I have done. So I know it's hard to see, and I haven't completely done all this. There are stitches missing, but you can see the start of the hole in the middle on the birdhouse, the love heart hole where the bird goes in. So I am stitching this. Which side am I doing? This side. Wait, don't have enough hands. So I've started in the middle and I'm stitching this side. So that is what I have so far. Yeah. So I really like how it's coming on. There are a lot of colours in this. I think I've charged it with like 40 colours. So I did try and do a smaller amount of colours, but I lost too much detail. So I thought, well, I'm just going to leave it at I think it's 40 or 39 colours. So that is Birdhouse Blues. It's available in my Etsy shop. It's like $11, I think, something like that. Yeah, it's $11. So, and that is, I'm stitching that on 18 count 8er. So if you're interested in the sizes, I don't think I've got it. So on 14 count, it is 8.6 inches by 13.6. So it's quite a big chart, I guess. But I don't think I have the other sizes here. They are listed on the listing in my Etsy store, if you want to pop on over and have a look at that. So that was my own one that I designed. I worked on that a couple of days. Then I did the You Are the Boss stitch along with the Fat Quarter Shop, and I love this piece. It's one of those stitches that once you start, it is really hard to stop. But I'm trying to keep to the actual sequence of the stitch along. So I'm trying not to get ahead. But I could stitch on this and keep going until I finish it, because I can't talk. And I want it on my wall because I love quilting and I love cross stitching, and these two, I've got them both together. So that is the You Are the Boss. So it's beautiful. I substituted some of the colours, and I will show you that in a minute. But this is the stitch along So we started on August 3rd, and now we are up to, this week will be September 7. So that is, September 7 is there. So that is this week's, from Wednesday. That is the 2 that need to be done. Oh, sorry. So this is where I am, and I'm stitching this on 25 count Lagana again, but I'm doing 2/2. I'm trying to work out, fold this. I can't do 1/1. I tried with a stitching shelf and I just go crazy, so it's not worth it. So there we are. That's what I've done so far. Really pretty. Sorry the light is a bit dim today. But there we go. So I've started this one down here. Haven't quite finished that one. And that is for... Wait, where am I? Hang on. That's September 7. Yeah, so I've started this week's. So when I pulled it out and stitched during the week, I finished that week's and then I started this week's a bit early. But that's all I've done. So I will stitch that again on Wednesday. So that is really pretty. I really like that. So that's a complete size. There is, well, not really. There's, why does it look like it's out? I'm pretty sure they line up. I'm pretty sure they line up. Oh my goodness, I hope they line up. But down here it just looks like they're out. I don't think they are. I think they line up. So there's another block to go in there, and then you've just got the words in the middle. So really love this stitch. So now I've pointed out that border. I hope it lines up. We'll have to fudge it if it doesn't, so I'm not redoing the whole thing. So that was that one. You can still get that pattern. So, and there's a free alphabet as well available, which I haven't downloaded yet. But you can put your own words in the middle. So here they have, that's too big a picture. Wait a minute, you know. Right, so in the middle they have "You are the boss of your own quilt." You can use any words, put any words you want in there. So, or you, if you want, don't put the words in, and you can just fill it all up with blocks. So you can do like another one of these, and or make up your own to put in the middle. So there's a free alphabet available that you can download for those letters. Oh, hang on. So that is that one. Then I did, so that's up until the end of August. And then starting September, the ABCINGO, that's what it's called, started in the magazine monthly challenge group that I'm in on Facebook. And what that is, it's like your normal bingo, but it's basically ABC. So it's not like your traditional B1, B3 sort of thing. You download the grid and you put your letters in any order that you want, except for the letter H. So every year they choose a letter to leave out because there's not enough squares in the chart for every single letter in the alphabet. So they'll choose one letter to leave out. And this year they've left H out. So this is a thing that the group does every September. And January, I think it's January, they have Bringo, because it's cold in the Northern Hemisphere. So it's a similar thing, and they call it Bringo. So this is ABCINGO for this year. And the pink ones are ones that are called, and the green ones are the ones I've completed. So I've actually done V already, and I've done M. I just haven't crossed them out. And the next one called for today is I. So for each letter, you assign a project. So for the letter I have on here, excuse the mess, but I craft here. So excuse the mess, that's from Shannon Christine Designs. And that's good because that's 2 days in a row, because that's what I stitched on last night. So for September, each day I'll be stitching on a different project. It's whatever is called on this chart. And Carolyn from Seasook Stitch calls them the night before, so that because us Aussies are already into that day when she calls that number. So if she was calling it earlier or on their day, we'd be nearly finished our day. So anyway, all right, so the next one is the first one that was called for ABCINGO, and it was the letter P, and my P is the Arnot's Parrot. So this is a chart that I'm doing for my husband because he loves everything oldie worldy, and this, well, old Australian vintage type of thing. So, and with the ABCINGO, you work on your project for an hour, a minimum an hour. You can do more if you want. I normally do. I choose that to be my project that I do for that night. So my projects normally get 3, maybe 4 hours in them a night for ABCINGO. So this is my Arnot's Parrot. Wait, I'll show you the picture first. So that is what the picture is. And if I remember, I will show a picture from my whip parade that I did last video and insert what it looked like. But this is what it is now. I did this section here. I worked on this section for my hour. I think I did a little bit more than an hour, not too much on this one because it's black and I was stitching at night and it's so hard to see. I put a light down on the floor and stream it up under the black, but it's still really hard. I find it really hard to stitch on. So that is my parrot. That's where he is. This is going to take a while to finish because I do love it, but the black is really hard. And I have the Bothy Threads Nutcracker, which is on a dark blue. I think it's like a navy blue. And even though I want to start it, I put it on my boards for Whip Go and ABCINGO and stuff, and then I take it off because I just know I'm not going to enjoy it because of the dark fabric. So, but I have to bite the bullet one day and do it. Alright, the next one was the letter, sorry, hang on a minute, for ABCINGO. The next letter, I should have written what days they were called. The next letter was, oh wait, what did I just show you? Yeah, I just show you Parrot. So the next one must have been V for a very big, my V is a very big project because it's a stitching shop. But I didn't work on that. I worked on Flowers of the Month. What was that for? It hasn't been called on Bringo. On ABCINGO. I must have done this for Whip Go. Wait a minute. So much going on. Alright. This might have been a Whip Go stitch. Yes. So I'm still working on my Whip Go calls from March. So I am way behind. I've actually completed 4. I've completed January, February and 1 of March. So this was for March call number 21, which is Flowers of the Month. Oh my gosh. I still got time to catch up because my goal for each one is 5 days, so I still have time. So this is the Flowers of the Month that was in a magazine, and I have, sorry, all the threads are in there. I've taken all the individual charts that they had as stand-ups and charted them as my own little sampler, I guess you could say. So I have charted them January, February, March, so 4 across, 3 down. Hopefully my fabric is big enough. We shall see. This I'm doing, it's on an 8er because it's really stiff. So I did February. I worked on this for a night, actually 2 nights I think. And I did February. So I'll insert a picture of what it was before in my whip parade. I had done January, and this last week or 2 weeks, I did February. Now I'm not happy with the letters down here, but it is what it is. I'm not unpicking it. I think from far enough away you'll be able to tell that's February. I'm making them up as I go because the stitches that they have on the chart are quarter stitches, which are impossible to do on Ada. So, well, I find them impossible to do. So I'm just back stitching, or like half, 10th stitching, whatever you call it, on here to make the words. But I don't like them, so I could very well at the end unpick them all and then just do normal back stitch to make the words. So I'm not charting them, I'm just sitting there and stitching it and go, oh, that looks like an E, that looks like a B. So some of them I copied from January, obviously, but the F, I don't know why I did this extra stitch down here. That looks a bit odd. I don't know, these 3 out here look a bit odd, so it looks like an E-bury, not an F. So, and I didn't have it up high enough. It's 1 row too low, so my Y looks a little bit odd. But anyway, is it a row too low? Yes, it's a row too low. So I had to put the Y, if you have a look at the Y, it's up higher than the rest of the letters because I started out a row too low. So this is, these letters are 2 rows up. I started this 1 row up because the J, anyway, it is what it is, you know. It's only for me, but I do love the little, like the love heart in the middle and the love heart that the birds are holding. It's really cute. I like these. So I'm using my own colours because I didn't have half of what they had in here. And I think some of these are some fancy floss that I don't have. So I just picked my own DMCs that I had. And that's my flowers for the month. Oh my goodness, get in there. Hold a minute. Right, next was ABCINGO called, and it was the letter X. So the letter X for me is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And this is it. Christmas one that I started a few years ago now. So I love anything Christmas, and I love this. I absolutely love it. So I worked on this one for a few hours. You're meant to do an hour, like I said before, but I did a bit more than an hour. So this is it in total. I'll put a picture up where it was before. And I worked on center here. So I did his sleeve here, the belt there, and that pocket is what I managed to get done. So I did more than an hour. I did a few hours on that one. So that is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. That's got lots of back stitching on it to do when I've done all the crosses. But you got to do the back stitching if it's on a pattern because it brings it to life. Okay, the next one was the letter V was called for ABCINGO, and I couldn't think of anything V, so I started a stitching shelf in August. So I said V is a very big project, and that's why that's how I chose the stitching shelf, because it is a very big project. I'm doing on 18 count Ada, so it's massive. It's like a bed sheet. But anyway, I love it and I wouldn't change it. So if you haven't seen it, Heaven and Earth Designs, a stitching shelf. Really, really detailed, really pretty. And I am up here still. And I'll put a picture in of what it was before. This is where I am. I don't think I can actually get into the frame with this. Here we go. There we go, a stitching shelf. You'll see I'm doing cross country. Like I mentioned last time, I can't stand the thought of doing the, what's it called, parking. So you can see my threads behind where I'm doing cross country, but that doesn't worry me because it's a full coverage and they're going to get covered anyway. So I've done a bit of fill-in in here and then carried down to here. That is the bottom of the first page, and that's roughly, if I get my chart, I think that's roughly half of the first page across. Let's see where I folded my chart. Yeah, so that is where I've gone over to here. Wait a minute. No, here, down there is roughly half of the first chart. So it probably goes across a little bit more than that. Let me see on my markings. Have I gone all the way across? I have. I've gone all the way. So that there, down there, across to there, that will be the first page. So that is what I've done. I love this. It takes a lot of concentration. So even though we only meant to do an hour on it, I spent all of yesterday stitching this chart. I started probably 11 o'clock, I think, in the morning, something like that. And then I just kept going till about 10 o'clock last night, and then my eyes were really sore, and it's like, oh no, I've done too much. I really love it. So I'm starting to see, like, you've got your blossoms coming in there, and I can see the next flowers, whatever they are, starting. So yeah, really love that. So that's a stitching shelf. I made a few people laugh in the group when I said V for very big project. It's massive. It is massive. Okay. And then the last one I stitched on is the Shannon Christine design, Excuse the Mess. And I got just an hour done on this last night, and then after doing the stitching shelf for hours, I was just like knackered. So I went, that's enough stitching for today. So this is Excuse the Mess, but I craft here, and that is my craft room to a T. That's Shannon Christine Designs. And this is where I am, and I'll put up a picture of where I was. So all I did, now I know the letters are hard to see. Do I have something to put behind it? Of course I do, I'm in my craft room. Hang on. Oh gee, it's so noisy. Right, here we go, we'll put this behind it. Okay, sorry about the crinkles. So all I did last night was down here, part of the skein. Not very exciting at all. And again, I've chosen my own colours for this because I'm stitching from stash for a lot of stuff. So I haven't finished the letters. I just did something that was really easy last night after all that stitching shelf. So that is where I am. That is what I've done. And this one gets stitched on again tonight for ABCINGO, because that is my I letter, which was called for today. Now, that is it for my stitching. I wanted to have a chat about Project Bag of the Month Club. I had some more questions about it, and the easiest way for me to take sign-ups is if you purchase the Etsy listing. I am thinking of putting a what's it called, a Google form up for people to sign up to if you don't want to go through the Etsy listing, but I find it easier if people just do the Etsy listing, because then I know they've paid up for the first month already. So what happens with the Project Bag of the Month Club is that you purchase the Etsy listing, and that's your first month. And then I put you on my spreadsheet with all your details. And for the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth months, you will receive a PayPal invoice in your email from me for those months. So each month you'll get an invoice from me from PayPal, and I use the email address that you use on Etsy. So assuming that you get your emails from Etsy when you purchase something or whatever, then that is the email address that I use to send your PayPal invoices to. Some people have mentioned they don't want to keep paying credit card or however they pay on Etsy, and they don't want to use PayPal. So if you would prefer to use bank transfer, I can organize that. You just need to let me know. So when you sign up, Or when you get your first PayPal invoice for the second month, you can reply to that and go, I don't want to pay via PayPal. Can I pay bank deposit? And I will then cancel your PayPal invoice and send you the details to pay via bank. Okay. So each month you'll get the bag and the accessories listed on the listing sent to you. I make them as people sign up, if that makes sense. So I don't have normally excess bags ready to go. So if you sign up mid-month, you may have to wait a day or two till I can get it processed and made and then sent to you. Now, I have at the moment limited fabric for September because I buy the fabric for the amount of people that are already signed up to the club plus a couple of extras. So if I have a large amount of people sign up for a month, then you may have to wait till the following month to start the club. So your Etsy listing still stands. I will modify your date you can expect delivery from Etsy, on the Etsy order, and then the bag you'll get will be the following month. So if you sign up now in September and say I don't have any bags left, then on Etsy I change the date, shipping expectation date, to be a certain time, and then your first bag you'll get is October if September's bags are sold out. I hope that makes sense, and I hope I haven't just confused it. If you have any questions at all, please email me, comment below, go to my Etsy store, send me a message on there if you want clarification. But I've edited the Etsy listing for the project bag of the month to make it a little bit more clearer, and I've put in there, there's a section down further that says how it works, and I think I've explained it all in there. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Oops. And I'm going to give you a little sneak peek because I know a few people have the listing in their cart on Etsy but haven't purchased, and a few people are confused with how it works. So read all the details on the listing. If you have any questions after that, then please let me know. But here's a little sneak peek, a really quick little sneak peek of September's theme. Think eucalyptus or Australian. So I'm on a bit of an Australiana theme at the moment. I purchased a lot of fabric that was Australiana themed. So okay, I think that was all I wanted to cover, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have fun stitching whatever you're working on, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.